सदस्य भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the Assembled Lord. All glories to the Assembled Lord. All glories to the Assembled Lord. Thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome back to the Prabhupada Nuga European Festival 2023 Ki Jai. Trying to plant Prabhupada really back into the center of our own personal lives and into our society, also collective society. So without wasting any more time, because we're already late, and I know Nimai Pandit Prabhu has a lot of super useful information for us. So I hand over immediately to Nimai Pandit Prabhu. He's the president of the New Jersey Temple in New York, which is also ownership of the original society started by Prabhupada, ISKCON Inc. in 1966. And the topic today is Varnashraam community and Varnashraam college community. So Nimai Pandit Prabhu, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. How was it today? What all did you do today?
We listen, and eat. That's it.
You are all for Sankirtan tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going out on Harinam tomorrow, and hopefully we can get some books out with us also and do simultaneously Harinam and book distribution. So it's a nice day for us tomorrow. Otherwise, every day it's about 10 hours, 12 hours of Shravanam. So nice, so much hearing from so many different devotees, so many different wonderful topics. And these will be there online for people to listen to and get inspired for years to come. So that's the bigger picture. And of course, we're getting to know each other. You know, a lot of people don't know this is going on here, this is going on there, that situation is there. So it's nice for the whole Prabhupada community to see what's going on and get involved, get personal.
Excellent, Prabhu. Thank you for inviting me again today.
Thank you for accepting.
Bore you more today. So today topic, see, Srila Prabhupada says it from Srimad Bhagavatam, he quotes it, he explains it. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that the society should be organized in Varnashrama according to one's modes of nature and one's training, not by caste. Like nowadays it's a big issue, Indian caste system in the US politics. It is becoming an issue. So the point is that how it relates to us. We are meant to be doing Bhagavad Dharma in Lord Chaitanya's mission in this Kali Yuga, because nothing else really works. Hare Nam Kevalam, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. These are the instructions from Acharyas, and we have been shown by Lord Chaitanya himself and by his disciples, the 6 Goswamis and others. So we look at the history. First of all, there is Bhagavad Dharma, there is Pancharatrika Vidhi, and then there is Varnashrama Dharma. These are different ways of in different yugas, different ways of reaching Krishna, purifying. It's not only one way to get to Krishna, but some are easier in this yuga or in other yugas, and some are more difficult. And the yuga is, the whole atmosphere, the whole arrangement is such that one method is more prominent in another, but it's not like we can discount any other method. So in our parampara, we know Srila Prabhupada explains to us that the history of our acharyas is that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, see, before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all the acharyas were kind of were renounced, not just renounced as a sannyasi in the Varnashraam, but completely like Avduta kind, like Goswamis who were totally away from this society, So they were not either sannyasi, they were not even taking part in any of these activities or the instructions given by in the scriptures about following Varnashraam or even Panchratriki for that matter, and they were more on spontaneous platform. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada explains that he gave the instruction of having Devi Varnashraam, in the future. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, his son and his disciple, he then actually Srila Prabhupada explains that he incorporated Panchratrika Vidhi in the Bhagavad Dharma, Bhagavata Vidhi. You keep chanting 64 rounds, which to them at the time was taking 6-7 hours. But then to regulate the other part of the day, and even to regulate the chanting properly, he added Panchratrika Vidhi, which is regulated temple worship, which is not actually the main process in this age for achieving self-realization on its own. But when mixed with or added, superimposed on that, if there is Bhagavata Vidhi, Shravanam, Kirtanam, this is what is the method given by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada, following in the footsteps, when he came to the US in New York, he didn't start anything called either Panchratrika Vidhi or Varnashrama or anything. He just started with Bhagavata Vidhi, Shravanam Kirtanam, just chanting under Tompkins Square Park. Now, as he writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he gives instructions and many places that Bhagavata Vidhi is very high level. It's very, very, very difficult to achieve that level of constantly chanting all day long, Shravanam, Kirtanam, like we're able to do 10-12 hours, but what about the rest of those hours? I know we go into mode of ignorance so much, passion so much because of the past habits and associations and karma, sinful activities. So many problems are there in Kali Yuga by which it's very difficult to follow Bhagavad Dharma. So very soon he started, of course, in the beginning he was doing chanting and going out on Sankirtan daily. But then very soon he started, in 2-3 years, 4 years, he started incorporating Panchratrika Vidhi for the devotees, training them how to worship the deities, morning programs. In the beginning, there was no morning programs as such, like we know now. So he started adding those Panchratrika Vidhi activities, and then the Varnas came, the ashramas came, not Varnas, sorry, the ashramas came, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. In that sense, he started incorporating a little bit of those, which are from Varnashrama system, but he started a little bit incorporating. He was following in the steps of, he was following the instructions of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he says, even apart from Panchratrika Vidhi, in worldwide, you would need to incorporate something called Devi Varnashrama. Devi Varnashrama, where Srila Prabhupada translates it, explains it to us as where the purpose is for pure chanting. So one doesn't fall down with the 4 regulative principles and other activities, so that one can continue to keep chanting and make the chanting pure, chanting offenselessly. So we all know as devotees by reading Prabhupada's books, hearing his lectures, conversations, that Devi Varnashrama he talks about, Varnashrama he talks about, but he's indicating Devi Varnashrama as implementing, for us. All of us, most of the devotees are trying to figure out how to go about doing this, how to implement Devi Varnashrama. Srila Prabhupada tells us why exactly, especially in his walks, morning walks, some of his morning walks in 74, 75 onwards, he started telling that, see, why like chanting is enough. What you're doing is enough, but then why are you falling down? You're Brahmana, but he falls down. That means he's not Brahmana, or he's not situated well in his Brahmanical position. Otherwise, there is no question of Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. One is actually situated in Brahma Nishtam when one becomes a Brahmana. So why one should fall down? So for that, he started telling that we need to incorporate Varnashrama in our society in some form, in some activities, different time, different place, in some manner, so that whoever is the people or the community can keep chanting in an association. For example, like even devotees have so much difficulty living, or I mean, even online is horrible, but what to speak of living together, practicing together. And many times these issues can be solved by some different Varnashrama principles, simple etiquettes, elder, senior, age elder, many different ways one can have different respect, different etiquettes, and just so that one is able to live easier. It will not solve all the problems in Kali Yuga, but it just becomes easy, just so that the association can go on and everybody can together chant and worship the Lord especially in the Sankirtan can do. So cutting to the chase, why Varnashram College? Srila Prabhupada instructs us to establish Varnashram College. How I understand is, we are a preaching movement. Srila Prabhupada wants us to preach, teach. Now, living a Varnashram, his thinking, what I see from his instructions on Varnashrama College, from his other morning walks, from his Bhagavatam, is that we as devotees, we don't need to really live like that. But more than that, just live. More than that, we need to actually teach it. So that's where he talks about Varnashram. I mean, everyone needs to learn. We also need to learn. So, but the thought process is to trying to establish a farm community or a society or such and such. It shouldn't be independent of trying to actually establish a college. If we try to establish college, then everybody's mindset is also in teaching, and how we can learn and teach that mindset, rather than I will live like that. And I've seen it I've traveled to many farm communities. I'm sure many of you have. And I've seen many times in the farm, there's not much to do sometimes. And then a lot of, in the free time, a lot of issues can happen. And so a preaching mission, a teaching mission all the time, whether it's in the farm, whether it's in the temple, in the city, whether it's in the college, wherever, it's always our mind should be of teaching, preaching, expanding the mission of Lord Chaitanya. And so in this manner, through Varnashram College. And so Prabhupada's instructions, let me share them with you. Few. So this Krishna consciousness movement is trying to re-establish Devi Varnashrama, where Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, everyone, systematic. We are therefore proposing to start a college, Varnashrama College. It is proposed. We are trying so many things, but this is also one of the program that the people of the world, they should be educated according to the quality and work. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The other day I was suggesting the governor that open Varnashrama College. As we are training a medical practitioner and an engineer or any particular type of line, similarly, there must be training school and college where a person or a boy may be educated as a Brahman or as a Kshatriya. It is very simple thing. We should not, the secular government does not mean that people do whatever he likes. No. Yatamat tatapat. No, that is not. The government duty is, if anyone is proclaiming himself a Hindu, the government must see that he's acting as a Hindu. Let's go forward. In this way, there will be peaceful condition of society. Therefore, there is the institution of Varnashrama. Chatur Varnaya Maya, Krishna says, I have made this Varnashram for the benefit of the whole human society. Although I don't belong to any Varna, Ashrama, Krishna has nothing to do but to maintain the human society very peaceful, advancing in spiritual knowledge. This Varnashrama is required. Therefore, sometimes I become very eager to start a Varnashram college. We have nothing to do with Varnashrama. We, Krishna, of course, devotees, but we want to see that the whole human society is peaceful. That is our mission. Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. This is the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And those who are servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they should also desire how to do good to the whole human society. A Vaishnava is not only interested for his own benefit. His own benefit is already done as soon as he has taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. He has nothing else desire over. Everything is finished, protected by Krishna. Kaunteya pratijani name bhaktaya pranashyati. But they work in the human society on behalf of Krishna so that they may be happy, peaceful, and make progress in spiritual life. That is Vaishnava's duty. Otherwise, Vaishnava has nothing to ask. Krishna knows how to help him, how to give him all protection. So, how I have approached, and I'd like to hear from others how they are approaching it. How I have approached this, these desires of Srila Prabhupada and these instructions, these paths forward, is in two manners. One is to learn ourselves, different Varna first. He said, first of all, Varna and then Ashrama, Srila Prabhupada says. So, and then to also, what do we teach? Why would people, like, people around the world in the normal society and outside society, why would they want to come to us? How can this be a preaching mission? So what I feel is, which we have seen success also with, is a little bit, is that if we start looking at trying to solve the main problems of the world, Prabhupada says, Sarve Sukhina Bhavantu. We feel for people who are, so distressed. How can we help them? The knowledge, Lord, the God of everybody, He is giving such perfect knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada, as his representative, is telling us in such specific manner how to do it, what to do, inspiring us, giving us association, helping us in every way, even day-to-day lives. How can, if we can't help, who is going to effectively, That's how we should feel. So let's say I have started looking at climate change. What about, this is young people, and we also see so much changes are happening in that climate. People are so sick, physically sick. Now, it may look like, oh, what do we have to do with all of these things? So because till now, I have understood Srila Prabhupada, what he was doing was, he was really focusing on the Bhagavad Vidhi and to certain extent on Pancharatrika Vidhi, even among devotees. So many of his instructions while implementing the Krishna consciousness movement are focused on those. And many times they are disregarding other instructions. But we also hear from Prabhupada that a lot of his more instructions to implement, more example by which he would have implemented how to push on the Krishna consciousness movement, God consciousness in the world, would have been related to the expansion of implementation of Varnashraam instructions. So, and he says, even 50% of my work is remaining. I mean, if you think of it, 50%, it's so much he already did. So if he gets stuck into only that 50% without looking at, oh, there are 50% more instructions which he could have implemented, which he wanted to implement, and he is implementing now through us. It's continuing on, from 1970. It's not like Srila Prabhupada stopped preaching, he stopped thinking about the welfare of everyone. He stopped all his activities. So we know Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra. We can't go beyond it. We can't suddenly say, oh, Prabhupada is inspiring me like this or like that. It has to be in the scriptures. It has to be followed by other acharyas or other people. And then our guru must be telling that. So, and then personal, we chant and we try to meditate, and Krishna is there in the heart, and Prabhupada's instructions are there in his books all the times to take guidance from. So what I have started looking at is, okay, Prabhupada has given all these instructions in his books. We can't go beyond that. I mean, why should we? There is already so much material there to help. And now, how do we help? Climate change, okay. Is there any instances of people helping the world? I mean, so many. Bhagavatam has so much instances. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is helping the world by putting the right emperor on the throne, just so that he can make everybody peaceful. It comes up with just so that all the kings can come back, and Vrishnis and Yadu dynasty, they can all come back. And there are so many instances where we can see that he's just making people materially peaceful so that they can practice spiritual life easily. And Srila Prabhupada says that here too, that we need to do that too. So, but it serves the dual purpose. If we can help people, not just talk, it's easy to type and talk. I mean, it takes time to talk and to think over and talk, definitely. But if we can go more than that and show by example how to actually solve these problems, in a way by which we're leaders of the world, we're leading it in the world. We not only gain credibility, but also so many people would come to learn from us how you are doing it. And we teach the Krishna conscious way, how we are going about doing it. Written in the Bhagavatam, and these are the principles we stand by. So that is the mentality which I have taken. Not to be, I don't think about the current ISKCON or whatever anybody is doing. Maybe I'm wrong in it, because but I just try to see what can be, how can I, let's say, organic farming, how to expand it, what are the different opportunities available where we can help, and so on and so forth. So let me share with you what we are doing right now, and we can then probably discuss. Till now, we have been at it for about 20 minutes. It's all a theory class kind of thing. Do people have any comments till now on my premise? Any comments, any thoughts to share of what they have been thinking or not thinking, either for or against? Anybody?
Yes, Nimai Pandit Prabhu. First question I would like to ask, which is often raised as a sort of anti-position to Varnashraam, is okay, Prabhupada was here and he did all this work and he focused on other things, but he didn't establish Varnashraam. So we should, you know that we should just continue doing the same thing.
Okay, so there are many. So where is the Krishna consciousness movement, worldwide movement right now? My first question is that. Second is, where are the association of devotees? Why aren't there? Where is the result? Show by the result, no? Show by people, thousands of people, normal people living in the world, wanting to learn from devotees. If this is given by the Lord, if everyone keeps saying that, oh, this is given by God, this is the best way to live, we show it, no? And Prabhupada himself saying in this lecture, why if you hear those morning walk lectures, they are called Varnashrama lectures or Varnashrama college lecture and morning walks, you can see that Srila Prabhupada is saying, then why, if that is sufficient, why they are falling down? That's the main question, because without these instructions, you fall down, because Varnashrama makes a net beyond which you generally won't fall down, and gives a support system so that one can continue following. And finally, the main thing is, where's the result? Where are people? Where are people whom we are preaching? I mean, this is supposed to be the Yuga Dharma. It's written in Bhagavatam. Kali Kale, is Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam. So he's in this yuga, he's coming as Sankirtan Yuga. Where are the Sankirtan devotees? Where are people coming to learn this directly? If we teach Sankirtan, where are those people? So Varnashrama college or Varnashrama, I don't see Prabhupada would have, if he had tried to implement, that he would have implemented just as just to live. He would have made it into a college, just like he's saying, a teaching place, an ideal place for people to learn how to live properly. And we can see there's so many societal problems, like structural societal problems going on right now. So much. There are not many wars happening. I know you are in Europe and you must be feeling much closer to war in Ukraine, but still it is more of a regional war. More or less in the Western world, there are no wars like earlier times. So we don't feel that pinch. But societal wars are going on within society, racial or identity and ethnically, and so many other issues are there politically. And so where are the solutions to those? Crime. Where are the solutions to those? I mean, unless what I see, Prabhu, is that unless we can show the effect of Krishna consciousness movement in the world, and we are leading that effect, and we can't gain credibility for a worldwide movement. It's a laughing matter. We are some fringes we are right now, and so philosophy wise, this is like a laughing stock, bro. So any other points? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you have something else to share.
Any other question here? Dear devotees, is anybody on the chat online would like to ask a question or make a quick comment to Nimai Pandit Prabhu? It would let us know, right? So Nimai Pandit Prabhu, it looks like there's nothing, no other comment, so please proceed.
So this is, we call it, we have a farm, and slowly it's developed into many other farms in US. This farm is in New York. We started developing. We call it Gopal Farm. And let me just play the video, actually, that would be the best instead of. And tell me if you can not hear it.
We can hear it, no problem. Yes.
Ishopnishads, Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam, where everything belongs to God and everything is owned by Him, created by Him. For all of us, not just human beings, everybody in this universe has been given a little quota, a little thing to keep them busy and maintain them. So we can say, oh, I'm the owner of the farm, but it is not true. I'm maintaining it on behalf of God and also for all the living entities which are here. I'm Nimai. I'm from Gopal Farm here in New Paltz. It's in a beautiful Hudson Valley, just about 90 miles north of New York City. And we are on the banks of Wallkill River, and it goes from New Jersey into the Hudson River. We are also on the foothills of Shongunk Mountains. Right there is the Mohawk Preserve up there. So Gopal, actually, it's a Sanskrit word, Gopal, G-O-P-A-L. Go in Sanskrit means cows. Pal means friend. So Gopal means friend of the cow farm. We want to take care of our cows ethically, and the milk produced and the other products would be ethically produced. And of course, cows are an integral part of our farm because not just they produce milk and other things, but also the cow dung, cow urine is used for all our compost needs, fertilizer needs, even pest control needs. So none of the animals are killed. And all of them are fed and treated according to what has been designated for them. So it's a sustainable farm. Our philosophy is based on ancient Indian system of agriculture. 25 years back, I was in Denver, Colorado, working in an IT firm. That's when I had an epiphany. Who am I? What am I doing in this world? Why am I living? So I gave that up in search of the answers and went and joined a monastery, a temple monastery in India. I was a monk for 10 years, studying the ancient Indian scriptures and also a better way of life, a better way of civilization. And part of that whole understanding has been that we have to live a simple life, free from many of the external unnecessary desires, materialistic, which make us completely like mechanical even in our thinking, not human. So my wife and I, we have been trying to learn farming. I was a city boy, no idea about farming like anyone else. So in 2009, we thought, okay, now let us figure out how to farm here near New York. We went and visited some organic dairy farms in Pennsylvania, in New Jersey, also in New York. And what we saw shocked us. The cows are tortured to get milk. Horrible. I can't even tell how difficult it was to see the torture they were going through. And we decided we can't farm like that. But if we don't, then it is unprofitable. So that's why my wife and I decided, let's go and learn in India. And we learned how to farm ethically from some dairy herdsmen in a state where I grew up in Rajasthan. So that's what we have been doing since then time. When we came back to the US, we are trying to make sure that whatever we use here is more in a plan of the nature rather than trying to impose our will, exploitative will on the nature, trying to produce as much as we can get. So in a way, it is inherently a sustainable way of living, not just of farming.
So I'll tell you. So what has happened is over the years, we started producing a lot of vegetables, grain. Prabhupada wants us to learn all kinds of farming. So I was able to get into I was trying out all these things, different kinds of vegetables, grains, fruits. I mean, we have the largest now coconut farm in the country. Here, let me show that to you. This is our coconut farm. And actually, see, when I was telling you climate change and how to show, let me show you. This is our brand, US Coconuts. This is in Florida. It's a tropical climate. So this is, the brand is called US Coconut, US Coconut. So we have, of course, machines. And that's how we figured out how to make it into a so we are developing this kind of a coconut food forest where we are intercropping the larger trees with smaller trees and making it very intensive farming. My whole thought process was, how can devotees who don't need to do too much work and still be farming and making money? It's that they don't have to go out doing other jobs apart from on the land. Some people will be farming, some people will be doing farm related activities, businesses. So all kinds of different businesses we have started, or they are at a stage where devotees can join in, and we even have a whole startup. We're putting about 2-3 million in that startup, so that we can teach people, not just devotee. I mean, we consider Prabhupada says everybody is a devotee, originally. So everybody can become devotees if they just associate sadhu sangha. So we have like all kinds of farm businesses we can start and take them along in a startup incubator. So we are in this. So this one we sequester carbon so much, we yield so many things. I mean, people can go through the website, but we are doing this coconut trees on the top, and then the smaller trees, papayas, moringa, and then creepers, and then root crops. So this is our program. Of course, this is the models we have made. So these are the things, these kind of things people aren't doing. So we are able to collaborate with different research institutions, getting grants. In our New York farm, in the dairy farm, where did it go? We just got another farm. Where did it go? Just got this new farm in New York. I call this Varnashraam college like this farm-based education retreat center. So it's actually Varnashraam college, but it's this farm-based education retreat, so people can come and stay. We're making a whole business model around it too, so that people can, it's like this is a 200-acre farm, not very far from New York City. It's on the commuter line, and it is where this. There's a restaurant here. Can go to. Okay, so this is a. It's a whole full-fledged restaurant here. The videos. See. Sorry, we just purchased it 3 months back. We're still working on the video. We're putting the website together. This is, I want to tell you about this whole ethical dairy thing. So, Prabhupada says our cow production program should be the most, is the ideal in the world. So years I've been trying to, 15 years now, we've been trying to work on it. And finally, Krishna gave this wonderful facility already ready-made to implement this thing. I'll show you the, just to bring it anyway. So I can show you directly also. I'm here at the farm. Oh, here it is. Sorry about this. College used to own this facility before they could complete the renovation. Pandemic came, Marist College nearby, so they sold it off to us very cheap. So and never used. It's all for dairy processing. Almost put $1 million in this whole renovation. There's so many more videos. You can go on be on our website soon. Otherwise, so now another thing is, so these two things. So I started thinking about Varnashraam College and other things with Vaishya first, because of I started seeing that the problem is not so much of the intellectual understanding, but it is the how people can maintain the money and that whole organizing part. So started looking at the stomach of what Srila Prabhupada said of the society, Vaishya, and Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Sudrasyapi Swabhavajam. Farming, cattle raising, actually it's cow protection should be, and business are the qualities of work for the Vaishyas. So that is where I started. But when I found out that cow protection and the way the world dairy system works is, if one is not killing the little male babies and the older female cows, then it will be almost impossible to make it work financially. And I had personal experience of it in India when we went there. So we came up, slowly after so many years working on it, costing it out, everything, how to not kill the babies and to the older cows. We finally made a model. Hopefully that will work. We have business projections, we have a lot of consultants. New York State even has given us $1 million of $1.15 million grant. And we have been even selected for being a priority project in this region of 7 counties just above New York City. There are 7 counties, they are called Mid-Hudson Valley region. In that, among all the projects like infrastructure projects and such, bridges, this sanitation project, all these things, one of the project is our ethical dairy project. So this is some news items. This article is really good because they covered what we want to do really well. And they did a whole debate on it with different people they got on the thing. But the point is that this is how so we are not just making ourselves. So we have contacted many dairies nearby because many of the other dairy farmers who, like, we think that they kill the cows and factory farmers I know them personally because I'm farmer also. So they also tell me that they don't want to kill. If we can figure out a way, some of them, not all, but some of them, they say that they're bringing up the cow and they're milking and they develop affection, and then they have to kill the cow. And if they don't, then they can't make it work because the price of the milk is so less in the market. It is an actual problem. So to solve that problem, I was telling you there's a problem and there is a Krishna conscious way to probably solve it. So we came up with this solution, and now we have this facility and we want to implement it. And these farmers are hoping that we succeed, and then they can include them into the ethical dairy label, so that this becomes an ethical dairy, like a whole dairy. We start a label, and I'm hoping it becomes a movement to make the dairy from a cruel dairy into a kind dairy. And this is cow protection is what Krishna really wants from us to do. And I started off thinking, if devotees, they want to live on land, they keep cows, how will they keep cows if it is not economical, financially viable? What to speak of making profit from it? It is right now, keeping cows is like a luxury because of the costs involved. I know in the US I've seen, and I've seen in India. I don't know other places in the world so much, but in Europe it's the similar, because we read sort of papers and we are in touch with our consultants we have and such. So we work together with the research institutes, and so but I don't know, there may be some special places where people are able to do it, but as a general rule. So our cow protection program, I look at it as we make an ideal thing here, even if it's in the smaller region in New York State or Northeast region here, some few states, and that could be replicated by other devotees or other people around the country or around the world. That would be our cow protection program. And then to learn it, then people would come to learn, and not only we teach them how to not kill the cow or male calves, but also the reason behind it also, and like Krishna and the mother cow and so many other, the milk, qualities of milk, and so many things become available to us to teach. And I'm envisioning the Varnashraam college to be that, in that aspect. So on another aspect, let's say the prasadam, so we call it the Indian temple cuisine. So everyone would have heard about things like farm to table concept, and so that is quite popular nowadays. People like to go to the farm or eat something which is directly from, they want to know the food, where it is coming from. So but we don't want to, we are right now, we started off like this, like we have a CSA. People would know what is a CSA, community supported agriculture. But we also have a Indian farm box we started. So we have we perfected a system by which, and weekly we are able to send vegetables to people in their homes. And this year we didn't do, because we moved from our older farm to this farm. But it is a very popular program. We are able to ship by UPS and such through boxes. We are able to do that. Yeah. So we're able to ship to so many states. Idea is that Krishi, Goraksha, Vanidhyam, they should be profitable. They should be businesses which should not only support devotees, but also the community as such. So we don't have to work outside. It's a profit-making endeavor. So we are focused on it, and we are able to do this. So, but I'm not satisfied with this. Idea is the thinking has always been that we should be able to cook these and offer, make prasadam and sell it, and then send it out. So the concept that we have been working on because to tell people is prasadam and it's a sanctified food and all this it is okay, but it's not very attractive. And how to convert our, because we don't have onion, garlic, and we, of course, no meat, but we have milk, and but we want to utilize the concept of farm to table and seasonal and Ayurveda. So we came up with this concept called Indian temple cuisine. So basically, because there's Buddhism also has these temple cuisines, and without onion and garlic, to frankly tell you that there are many restaurants here in the US. They don't, Buddhist restaurants, they don't have very good restaurants. They don't have onion. So we use that concept. And India, Srila Prabhupada says before, there didn't used to be restaurants. There used to be you would go at the temple and eat, and it was very cheap and first class food. And here other places he has explained Bhagavatam how each temple used to have lands all nearby, so the best of the produce and in the season is offered to the deities. Even around the villagers also they offer similarly to the to the people when they come to the when so there are nearby, there are farms, people have their own farms. They also first produce, they bring it to the deities. That's the custom. Srila Prabhupada says, I've seen it. Varun, can you do that? Can you people put on mute? So we use that concept, and then we utilize.
My Pandit Prabhu, sorry, try to mute this, but our IT person somewhere.
Hey, Deepti, yeah, okay.
Nimai Prabhu, you're a host also. Try to do it if you know how to do it.
I tried, but it didn't work. But I think she figured out and she muted it. It's okay. Sometimes it happens to everyone of us. It happens to me many times. So the concept is that, I mean, this is the truth. What happens, what Krishna has set up is like this. So the devotees bring the produce from different places nearby our temple's own farm. And then we are saying that the yogis, they in meditation, they are meditating on the Lord in the heart and cleanly, mind clean, and then they prepare food which is for for offering of the Lord. And second, I'll show you the. So I rewrite that one uniqueness of the Indian temple food is that chefs do not taste the offerings, a strict tradition going back thousands of years. First taste of any offering ought to be by the deity, the master. The priest chefs meditate on the Lord in one's heart to direct one to add the right ingredients at the right time in the right quantity to prepare the best as one's humble offering. It requires minute spiritual synergy. The resultant preparation is considered a test of one's own meditation practice. Imperfect dishes reflect on different aspects of meditation one still needs to perfect. In that manner, we are projecting it. So those will be our restaurants, cafes, in that manner. So this restaurant we are converting like this, and we're doing a lot of, maybe if you let us open it up for comments and questions, and I can, more thoughts will come. But we have been doing a lot of work, farm-based wellness, farm-based retreat center, and such many other things. Yeah, so anyone
Any questions here?
Comments, sharing?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Janas Priya. I'm very,
Mahatma
very,
Prabhu wants to ask a question. Mahatma Prabhu, go ahead, please.
There was
I
somebody,
heard you're talking.
somebody else was speaking.
yeah, I just wanted to congratulate you on what you're doing. This is amazing. It's devotees dream about what you're doing. You're a real cool example to follow. The pine forest farm in Florida, how big is it? How much land is there?
So, but thank you very much, Prabhu. It is for your appreciation. I'm sure different devotees are doing similarly and much better. The pine land, it's an island off the coast of Florida. It's but there's a road, there is a bridge which goes in. We have been buying, so we own around 100 acres, and we contract out, and like we are able to farm other also around there. But each place we are trying to build a Varnashraam college, basically a community of teaching mindset to the local and other places to come and learn, not just in farming, but also in a big thing that we are doing is wellness. Maybe I can show you later, but let's have these feedback and comments now.
Are you familiar with Narayan Higgins on the big island of Hawaii? He has a cow hugging program, and he has people lined up every day paying $20 to $40 an hour to lay with the cows. Have you thought of doing anything like that?
It's a liability issues, Prabhu. If it steps on the cow or something, it's a problem. So,
Yeah, he has specially trained cows, like super mellow cows. It's not be every cow.
It's a good idea. We should definitely look into it.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Mahatma Prabhu.
Jai Hare Krishna, obeisance of Lord Srila Prabhupada. I apologize for being late. This is a subject that interests me a lot. I came a year and a half. It's going to be to the north of Florida, to the towns of Live Oak and Jasper. And there's another town here called Madison. I bought a little property, and I'm trying to have a garden, vegetable garden, and so forth. And I don't have the influence. I don't have the sangha that would require to do a successful rural community here. But I'm trying. Some devotees are visiting, etc. But I'm afraid that, particularly in my case, because of that lack of association of like-minded devotees, I should just kind of concentrate on having enough supplies for 2 years, particularly food, water, like that, because things may turn very ugly very soon. So, two things. What are you doing in regards to that, in case we run out of time, kind of thing? And the other thing, how can we attract devotees? Because what I have found is that, rural community, it's not like you can finger your phone like all day long and have vegetables grow. You have to work. And so how do you attract devotees to this lifestyle?
Nimai Pandit Prabhu, we can't hear you.
No, I was just thinking. One second. I wanted to take you on the farm and show you. Okay, so we see Srila Prabhupada talks about the farm is where people would come to be helped, rather than us trying to store and help ourselves. Because you can grow, no? I mean, you just need some seeds to be for the future. I mean, it's very soon vegetables grow so fast. Within a month, We have greens, even some greens even earlier. And it doesn't take much to grow vegetables and grains, few months. Krishna has made it so easy. So I don't know how, if you have land, Srila Prabhupada talks about dhanina dhanvan, someone who has land or grains and cows, dhenu, that is actual richness. So we are, our main thing is to learn how to do that, and economically. So we have enough land by Krishna's grace now, and we will keep buying more and more, so that we can, we'll have enough for people when they want to come, if they come. Even now, whether something happens, not happens, we are not like thinking about that. Of course, we have this understanding in the back of our mind because Prabhupada said so, but this is not our motivating factor. The focus is to preach, to teach people. Sarve sukhina bhavantu. We teach people how to solve the problems of their lives, of the society, and to different, just few things we know. We don't know the whole things, whole solutions, but those solutions, they matter a lot to people. And out of gratitude and out of appreciation and people want to learn. People are ready to learn so many things. If we are just able to really actually deliver solution, people want to know and be associated. As far as I have seen, genuine people, genuineness, sincere. We don't know everything. We can tell this much we know, we can teach you. That's it. That's all we need to show. We won't have difficulty having people here. We are actually building almost 300 rooms, kind of different staying facilities. I'll show you what we have right now. But we are building so many more facilities than this. We have 50 beds or so right now on this farm. We're building 300. We know that so many more people want to come. I mean, New York, I know to good extent. And I know the mentality of the people is that they want to learn all these things. And some, let's say 50 people come to learn. 1 out of 50 would want to stay and want to do more than just come and visit and leave. And I'm not thinking of devotee, non-devotee, this, that. We just focus on the soul. Because soul is Krishna's part and parcel. It's a dear to Krishna. So it's up to us as his servants to uplift the consciousness, to ultimately get to Krishna consciousness. It may not be in this lifetime, they may not start chanting or all these things like how Bhagavad Vidhi is trying to do. But in this method, one is developing the faith. Adav Shraddha tata sadhu sangha tata bhajan kriya. The first is Shraddha, the faith, and then sadhu sangha, and then bhajan kriya starts. So we're trying to give them opportunities to at least live in this life peacefully, and in the process associate with us and come to the next stage, and hopefully and chanting also. So more and more we like thousands of people daily or weekly coming. That is our goal on each farm, learning. It's not like India where you show big temple, like Prabhupada wanted big temples. People come just to see the temple and to worship and such. And that is where he started preaching. You can do Sankirtan right there in the temple. You don't really have to go out in India to preach. But in the West, using this Devi Varnashraam approach, my God, I cannot even believe how much opportunity we have. All over US and Europe, I know Canada, everywhere these things, Australia, all these places, it can really work by showing people these things we can teach you, and attracting people to the farm. People want to come and experience farm life, natural life, being grounded, especially the health portion. Maybe I can show you. This is a good segue for that. Any other comments for now?
I have a question.
I like to say that, yeah, you're correct. I started a garden just 4 months ago, and I have enough tomatoes, more tomatoes than I can use. I'm having to give away as a gift to neighbors and my insurance agent, etc. The same with the basil, grapes. I've had already blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. It's incredible how much, but it's taken more work than I thought. And then you have also some difficulties with pests. You have to protect your watermelon, squash, etc., from deer and also a squash bug, etc. So it's only a large family with muscle with workers, or a combination of families. But I've been pleasantly surprised that in north of Florida, you can get a quarter of acre and for $3,500 to get in, and then a small monthly payment because the land is only $6,500. You mentioned pine trees. There's a lot of pine trees in this area, and there was 5 acres of pine trees with a mobile home, and it went for $30,000. I got a house for $37,200, another one for $42,700, and the one I live on 2 acres for $150. So the prices are very reasonable, and there is 50 inches of rain per year. So you can, have multiple harvests per year. Where I was living in California, only had 4 inches. So it's like heaven. It really is, particularly the months of March, April, May. There's only like 2 days of rain, a little bit per month during that period, but still there's plenty of water from your well and stuff. So it really is an ideal place, and it doesn't take a lot of money to purchase property and stuff. So, yeah. Thank you, Bo.
Very nice, this endeavor. Anyone else?
Manita, can you hear me?
Yeah, very well, Prabhu.
So I could not exactly understand what you are doing now. Okay, clear. Varnashraam, college, but also Gurukul.
Gurukuls, so definitely the program is to have Gurukul, but we need to start with the devote manpower, and then the couples, and then the children. It's so, see, just like child is in a womb and nourished in the mother's womb, I feel like children also need a community under which they will develop very well. Alone, I've seen so many devotees, children, and it's tough for the family, what to speak of children too, So,
but this is for the future. This is the plan for the future.
Definitely, we have a marked place for that. Yeah. So first thing was so that there is a community of teaching and farming and preaching community. So their children will automatically will be in that Gurukul. But it's tough in the West to invite people not of the same thinking to come to that Gurukul. It's not like a preaching or teaching mission. We can have the Gurukul which are not already devotees. There are so many regulations concerned with.
You want to do it without compromise, or so? I mean,
Gurukul has to be. Yeah.
Or a little bit from government, school, or
no. See, Gurukul Prabhupada talks about just without anything. So, but in the West to do it, you can go under a religious charter school, but then you have to have the whole you can have a curriculum like that, how we want it, and such. like there are a lot of people doing homeschooling of children here in the US. It's a big community. So extending that is what we are thinking. But as far as the Varnashram College, that's where we can invite anybody from outside to come and learn.
That's my
And-
next question. This baby Varnashraam down or mix, or you take everyone now from let's say from non-devotees and you want to teach them also Varnashraam down, or mostly devotees, or this?
What is a devotee is the question in terms of Devi Varnashrama. That's my question to you, back to you.
What?
What is a devotee in the concept of Devi Varnashrama?
Yeah, Prabhupada say, okay, that actually a real Vaishnava, when we follow Varnashram Dharma, and then later on, the body, the external, let's say the external Varnashram Dharma, take us to the bodily Varnas and everything, and after some time, we are free of this, then we can only do what, like this is real Vaishnava. So, but Prabhupada mostly took from beginning, let's say, devotees inside these farm communities. But your plan is to bring also people who have no knowledge about nothing and teach them in the school, the college, or from beginning makes them devotees and then.
The thing is that Krishna says, no, that I mean, we all is part and parcel. So, like, what is a devotee? Is like everyone, the Krishna consciousness seed is in everyone's soul. Everyone just forgot on it. So, and Varnashrama, meaning if he's solving the problems, societal problems, so many people would come to learn. But we are teaching, we are not hiding or anything, we're just teaching in this manner. You must have seen that video which I played. I'm very clear what I'm doing. It is based on Ishavasya principle and everything. It is, so people come, they know where they're going to learn, because they would go learn because there is knowledge there, which is helping them in the society, not because there is a devotee or a devotion, all those things. So we know Bhagavad, the Bhagavad Vidhi, the Bhakti Yoga process is Adav Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Tatha Bhajana Kriya. You know, these are the 9 steps. The first 3 are, first there has to be a little faith. Otherwise, why would one associate with the devotee? Adav Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha. There is no Sadhu Sangha potential then. With faith, if one is not associating. And then by associating, then only the bhajan kriya could come. The activities, the external activities of devotional services. So this is what we are trying to do with the Varnashrama College, and trying to helping solve the societal problems, is developing mass scale. This is, I'm hoping, this is, Srila Prabhupada's vision is like that, and if we can go into that vision, mass scale solving of solutions to the problems of the society, then thousands of people would want to come and learn. And if they're associating, there's a temple there, they're eating prasadam, Hare Krishna mantra is always going on, and I always never go without tilak, and shikha is always there. Everybody knows what I am, and we are teaching from Bhagavad Gita everything, but in a very nice manner, so that people it's practical. See, so which makes it, they would develop credibility. I'm seeing already credibility developing. Otherwise, why would New York State make us a priority project for this region, for tourism and other purposes? We are part of the system, but as a pure devotional concept, cow protection, like that, cow protection, farming, and all these things, ethical, no-kill dairy, no-kill farm, we say. We made a presentation like that, no-kill farm. You know, I went like this. So that's the whole thinking that, I mean, I feel like Srila Prabhupada would have done that because he was already going in the direction. If we see so many of his conversations, we can solve the problem. Crime, we can solve it. How and what to solve, how and why and how to solve it, right? So many, he said we can solve all these problems. Bhagavatam, so many places he's talking about that. So that's the thinking, Prabhu. Okay, so I'll just show you this one other thing that, yeah.
There's two more questions from
Yeah,
people.
let's go ahead.
Question first, is that okay? All right,
Yeah.
so first is Bharat Das Prabhu, and then after him is Nityananda Prabhu. So Bharat Prabhu, please go ahead.
You need to unmute.
Bharat Prabhu, you need to unmute yourself. Not
Okay,
me.
okay, I got it.
Bharat.
Hare
Bharat.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Vanchaka
Krishna.
Patariva Shakti Patitanam Vaishnavi Namo Namaha. Yeah, I remember 10 years ago, I was chanting my first 16 rounds in this gathering in the first Prabhupada Nuga festival, and I know, yeah, there, I had no no training at all, what to speak of Vaishnava training, and then I started working with Nimai Pandit, and I was so inspired by you, Prabhu, and my heart is overflowing seeing you so successful, and I have so much hope for Srila Prabhupada's mission, seeing all of that, and yeah, I'm very inspired by your example, and yeah, I want to share that because we have lived for some years on your farm, and I have seen how sometimes you have needed to go to the court and then put all the money from the business and from the farm into the case, and people were not understanding how all of this was happening, and sacrificing sleep and eating and just giving everything. I mean, I get the spirit of Srila Prabhupada there. Srila Prabhupada in the early days, the devotees doing everything, and yeah, it's yeah, very, very close to the ultimate success of life. And I have several questions there because yeah, I'm still struggling, like just getting land, or here it's hard to find 2 cows. I'm wondering what you think about, shall we do it more like decentralized? Okay, the farms, they are decentralized, but then ISKCON Inc., do you see any role for ISKCON Inc., like sharing knowledge? And yeah, also how to start, like there are so many imperfections. Do you think it's better to start in a spirit of action is better than inaction? I know I wanted to help you sincerely, and then I know I created more disturbances there with having impurities, anger, tendency to argue, and in raising my children, I have pain because there's no facility, and I need to homeschool as imperfect as I am, and we do not have the land. How to do all of that now, right here? I mean, Gopal and Damodar, they are 13 and 12, and yeah, I like to hear from you. We all need to learn much. Yeah.
Well, Prabhu, so nice to see you finally after so many years. Huh? You were our first cowherd men and wife, and I mean, your wife is here with you.
Yeah. She's but she's watching on YouTube more in the background.
How are the kids?
They are doing well. Actually, Gopal is doing a big garden on his own. It's so inspiring to see. And I see for him, he's Vaishya, very, very clear. For myself, it's so mixed. I know I learned like a Shudra, and my horoscope also says that, but it's mixed, my training and everything. So it's a real
You're a Vaishnava, Baba.
strange situation.
Forget this horoscope. Throw it away.
So I remember, Prabhu, all that you gave in the beginning of the farm, the help with no facilities, nothing, staying out there in the jungle with the children struggling, visa problem created by me, and so many issues, and you somehow not only survived but flourished with the children. And I'm just sorry we didn't have so much facilities, so much knowledge. And even now, like you're saying, you can help learn. And I mean, most I can show you what not to do, because so many hard knocks and so many issues financially and people, and so many things have gone in. Of course, it's been 7 years since you were here. You left 5 years, 5.5 years back, 5 years back, something like that. But so as far as the knowledge thing is concerned, see, this is the program that now this facility, I can show you this farm.
Which one?
Yeah, I will show you
Stop
later.
the video.
Later.
Down.
So-
On the down menu,
So
video icon, on the down menu, camera icon. Oh, it's not within. Oh, it's done.
one can maybe unmute. Thank you. So we are definitely open to sharing. We want to. So what we were hoping was that ISKCON Inc., Srila Prabhupada Society, we hope to this becomes like the training ground. It's such a nice facility, this farm. It is 200 acres. It's near the New Paltz farm where you were, Bharat Prabhu. But it is nearer to New York City. It's on the commuter line, so easy to go and back and forth on the train. And it is already developed education facility. It used to belong to a college nearby. They were using it for their college activities. So we can teach a lot of activities. Like we are trying to perfect our whole cooking for college programs, college not programs, college cafes. So we have a whole program of Prashadam centers. So we are near the colleges or in the college. We have farm to table, these kind of restaurants, so that we can invite college students to come. So all the recipes, everything we are starting to perfect. And of course, the farming wise, vegetable farming, crops, everything we can teach you. Teach you meaning there is so much more to learn, so much. So we have different, each crop has its own machinery. So many problems could come. So there is unlimited knowledge. So we of course we can start you off and show you, and we can invite different specialists in those crops for more detailed knowledge. And as far as cow protection, that is my like the main thing that I want to do and I like to do, and I can show you. Actually, we need people to actually help in that, to develop this cow protection program. It's going to be unique in the world, and we have like on this farm itself, this whole budget of the farm is 50 million or something. It's such a huge project, and part of it is going towards the ethical dairy. Large portion of the funds we have been able to raise. A few of 10-15 million is left over, so we are working on that, and grants, how to get funding, and so many things we can share with you all. The mindset behind it, the business mentality we have. I mean, business wise, any kind of different enterprises which somebody wants to run, we have now assembled more and more people who could help in that, professional people in running, helping in startups. But also, I mean, I can help and put them in the direction. And then gradually we need more people who can be training in detail also. I cannot do so many things, but what I've been able to do is develop all that knowledge and experience by trying and failing. And on the cow protection, all I can say is after 15 years of trying and failing and trying, finally we have a facility where we can actually do it, which is the most likely to succeed. Still, it can fail. I'll keep trying, and because without it, there is no Varnashraam can be set up without cows. So cows, if we cannot make it financially viable, then it doesn't work. So I feel very confident now, and that's why we are going full on with it in marketing and everything. So, but if someone wants to start up a farm, we can even do a farm training program. If devotees want to come here for, we are actually doing a festival, same kind of thing that devotees are doing there in Germany, you are doing. So maybe from US devotees and maybe some devotees who want to come from Europe. For 10 days, you can come on the farm and we have nice staying facility, prasadam, everything. And so then we can show you, I mean, it's not a structured program of a farm training course certificate like that currently, but we can show you everything in classes and such, and whatever questions you have. But each location is different, and environment is different. Crops are different, market is different, consumers, the delivery, everything is so different. So to learn that, we have been starting different farms in different locations in the US. So one farm is, of course, in Florida, in tropical area. So there we wanted to do whole tropical farming, and we want to learn. So it's going good. A lot of challenges, but I think now it is going to get set up. Then we are working on getting some land in the desert in California. So for learning the desert kind of atmosphere, and I grew up in the desert, so I'm more, there's some affinity there. So different climates, zones, I personally would like to, that is all I could do. I feel 3-4 farms kind of thing, and learn and then set up this Varnashraam college activities with other people helping. And of course, other farms, everybody needs to start their own independent farm. There should be thousands of farms, and we can teach, we can help teach. So I'm sorry, I cannot give you like this thing.
Sure. Yeah. I'm wondering then, what is the main point to convince people to drink the cow's milk instead of going for the blood, and yeah, how to make it viable?
I always, in the business, I always go for picking the lowest hanging fruit first, which means that, when you have apple tree, you don't want to, first you want to take which is right there. So already in the Western world, at least, people are attuned to thinking that cow milk, I mean, most people drink cow's milk. In US, the study is done. Now we are part of that whole project, which is 5% are vegans actually. And 23% of that 5% of the vegans of the population are vegans because of animal welfare issues. So you can imagine the total population of the whole US, which is around 350 million, only 4% of the people are actual vegans because of thinking we shouldn't go to cows. Like cow's milk is not meant for us. It's meant for only the kid and all these things. But rest of they are our clients. And the foremost clients are the 23% of the vegans. That is one client already in the US, I'm saying. In the Europe, I don't doubt it may be something similar. That in the whole of the, let's say 95% in the US are non-vegans. Out of that, 67% want to they are ready to pay more for getting dairy products which have humane practices. See, already there. Already people are there. We can't even supply enough ethical dairy products or ethical products or other things to people who we don't even have to concern ourselves teaching all those things. First let us do the lower hanging fruit, make it financially successful. Then as we develop our organization and people, then we go to more people who are into other kind of milk for whatever reasons. It's already a challenge to make it financially viable ethically without killing. Why trouble ourselves with so many more things? That's my philosophy. Okay, why don't you bring your kids? I'll see now. I want to see them for a long time.
They are in another building with Ananta now.
Yeah, I mean, you bring them to New York, no, to the farm. 3 months you can come, no, without any visa issue.
Yeah, we overstayed quite a while, but we could see. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Is there anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Janas Priya again. Sorry to pester you. Are you aware, I'm sure you are, of the dwarf coconut trees that they only grow about 2 yards high?
No, the coconut trees we are growing, they are called dwarf mapin. But those dwarf mapin grow to 25-30 feet.
Now in Mexico, they have a variety of coconut trees that when they're fully grown, they're maybe 6 to 7 feet. And they produce like
coconuts a year they produce then on the tree.
Hundreds, more than the regular tree. So I could send you some information on that if
Please
you're
do that,
interested.
yeah. Please
Thank
do.
you very much.
Like
They got the mango, they got all the dwarf
pineapple then.
mango, coconut.
It's like it's like pineapple tree then, huh?
Yeah.
So another project that we are doing now is this help effectuate lifestyle changes for people with chronic diseases through farm-based wellness. It's a new company that we have 10 roots. But we have constituents of it we have been doing because developing Ayurveda is health is a huge issue. And Srila Prabhupada wanted devotees to be aware of this and learn. And so this is what we are doing. So this is basically a presentation which we make to investors and other stakeholders. So I'm sharing that with you a little bit. I'll share. So, but the thinking behind it is this, that we want to make everybody happy, and in the process, if people want to learn from us why you're doing it, how you're doing it, we are more than welcome to do that. So on these farms we are building these kind of, so in the US at least, I don't know, Europe is much healthier, but in US 6 in 10 people, adults are have chronic diseases. They're like already always sick, and 4 in 10 have 2 or more. It's just amazing how 58% of the population has hypertension. Similar numbers are there, cholesterol. 30% of the population have arthritis. It's huge. It's so saddening to see. And people in that, when they are chronic disease, it's so difficult for them to really practice spiritual life or really think. Of course, Krishna consciousness is not blocked by anything, cannot be disturbed by, cannot be stopped by anything, but it helps, as Srila Prabhupada says. So we are going towards, let's say, diabetes. 100 million people will have pre-diabetes by 2030, and what's going on? So we are concentrating on health coaches. So basically, people trained as to teach them how to live a sattvic lifestyle in a sense. So lifestyle coaching. Diet is a huge thing. Food as a medicine is becoming so much popular, including in the government circles and such. And so we have, this is not our program. These are already running programs in the healthcare system that we want to get into. So this lifestyle coaching, all these things that now we are working on. And these are numbers, the team. So we have a subscription boxes that we are doing, medically tailored meals. These will be prasadam, and so this is our premise, that people come to the farm to learn how to manage their diseases, and we teach them not only the for farming and food as a medicine, but also sattvic lifestyle. A lot of the problems people have is because of stress, mental issues, relationship issues. You can teach that in a Varnashraam college based on the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, how to control the mind. All these things are, and purpose of life, looking at higher purpose of life rather than smaller purpose. People want to learn this, all these topics. So there are different location, and near Boston, we have Cape Cod, 223 acre there. Keeps you at 200 acre now, and we're developing more. And this is our farm here. This is the economics with education programs. There's a Pine Island farm. So we're developing like that. It is not existing right now, but we are developing it. This team. You are purchasing a college, Ayurveda college, in the last stages of it. So like that, there are a couple of more things. We have different businesses, different streams, and just trying to learn different knowledge sources, so that devotees can be then taught those, like engaged in Ayurveda a lot, Vastu, like the whole Brahminical, farm-based education retreat. So college of the Varnashraam college, Brahminical, will be under this college. Proper college it is, that our camp, all the farms will have the college campuses where we teach Brahminical learning. Anyway, so any other topics of discussion?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is this?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Nimai Pandit Prabhu.
Krishna.
And about pranams. All glories to devotional service for Srila Prabhupada and to all ISKCON Inc. It's really wonderful to see that so much progress that you are making. Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment and also just ask a simple question. Your ISKCON Inc., who's going to be running your Varnashraam Dharma, Devi Varnashraam Dharma farming? Is it going to be run under the management of ISKCON Inc., or it will be a separate entity?
Right now, I am doing it because of a lot of capital is required. So, yes. investors and everything is there, because farming, land and machinery and equipment and barns, it's lots of funds. Each of the projects is around $15-20 million. So it is tough to do it in a non-profit right now. But I'm hoping that in 7-10 years time, when everybody has been, the investors, the loan, and different stakeholders have exited out, like in any startup, at that time we can then put it into non-profit.
Yeah.
But it is affiliated to ISKCON Inc. So
Okay, very good.
purposes
That's
of
very good.
ISKCON are being served with this. We have no other.
I spoke to Gauranga Sundar Das some time back. We're discussing some land in Vrindavan to purchase. So everything's getting bought up here. Nonetheless, it's just that my comment as well. I just want to make a comment here just regarding on this. Just I've noticed that devotees do try to establish the Devi Varnashram system, and it seems to me, after having discussions with many devotees that are on this journey of establishing this ashrama for pleasing Srila Prabhupada, everybody has their own conception and understandings in regards of what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted and in the order of Srila Prabhupada. So it'll be nice to see that if ISKCON Inc. gets this Devi Varnashram Dharmas, the system right, that obviously it can set an example for everyone else to actually do it in the right way, instead of everybody having their own system. Because I'm sure that, after ISKCON Inc. has this Devi Varnashram system established, many other devotees will see, okay, fine, it's working, and they will try to establish their own. But, sometimes devotees have their own motives for establishing something like this. And it can be carried away in some way. It can be diverted, the actual purpose of Srila Prabhupada's desire. So that's just the comment that I wanted to make. Obviously, I've been seeing this a lot, and I've tried to help some devotees. I try to also be involved in it somewhat, but I can see that certain things are not being followed according to Srila Prabhupada's standards in the Shastra. And just another comment regarding Prabhupada's instruction as well. He says that the cows, taking the ghee, that's our goal. That's our goal, to actually take care of the cows, cow protection, and we make ghee, and that will help us in bonding and maintaining, because ghee is very rare. You don't get pure ghee nowadays. It's very rare. So that's just an idea for you and the management. Yeah, and Hare Krishna.
Where do you live, Prabhu?
I reside in Sri Vrindavan Dham, the mercy of Srila Prabhupada.
Nice. So first thing is that Devi Varnashram, it's a huge thing. Not one person, two people, or even a few devotees can do this.
Yes.
We are able to only do certain aspects of it to a certain extent only. And it will require, the way the beauty of Varnashram system is that what Krishna wants, Krishna understanding, each soul is different, and there's so many permutations of gunas acting on each soul, that each one requires a different environment, different kind of, that's why householder life is so alone.
Yes.
One, but otherwise, even environments are so different. And fine. So what we need is different devotees to come forward. What we could do is, like what we are trying to do is next month here in the farm, we are doing this festival. Basically, it's for developing this. People come with different ideas. This is the temple room where I was sitting, and then this is our farm.
Dang. That's amazing. That's a lot of land.
So it's a lot of land. 200 acres is there, 100 acre, and so much cows are that side, and staying facility also we have. So what I was saying is that we need to like share notes, need to see what somebody else is doing, what we are doing, and develop like that kind of an association to develop this. This is the place to where people to devotees to stay. And this
Looks like it's already set up. It's just waiting for the devotees.
and there are many rooms like this. This is
Yeah.
one around 40, 50.
to see.
And restaurant is there. And so what I was saying is that if we meet, some of the devotees can come, or online, we can keep discussing how we are doing this and how best to go forward with different aspects. But if somebody wants to learn and come and stay for some time and learn, Europeans, you know, 3 months one can come without actual visa waiver program. And they can come and
Yes.
see. And other people can come for longer time. In US especially, people can come. And we can show. Anyway, we are hiring different people around. All right. Any
Thank
other
you.
any other feedback or? Okay. Balram Prabhu.
Nimai Prabhu.
Hmm.
Yeah, did you get my message?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, please. So, you know, you've got 7 minutes. I'm not sure that we're also having internet problems. There are so many devotees here using the internet, so I keep on falling out. So I'm not actually there right now. I'm just using the main laptop. Anyway, questions, if you want to take this last 7 minutes to conclude it.
The question
If I
is-
may,
Sure, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, if I may, as I see this, I'm a little concerned because Srila Prabhupada said, well, I know a little bit of very little bit of business. And one of the rules is like when you're small, of course, I'm very small, you should not have a property farther away than 45 minutes from where you live, right? And you're talking about California, Florida, to different places in New York, etc. You plan to expand. And Prabhupada said that there's still going to be cars moving. So it's going to make it difficult to transport oneself from one place to another, etc. So you did say that you don't have any food saved for 2 years is recommended and so forth. So I don't know. I just sometimes I feel that devotees and people in general, we are like so ambitious to do so much, and we forget that Prabhupada said there's going to be a nuclear exchange. When he was asked whether this could be avoided, he said that it cannot be avoided. He said it's not going to be a long thing; it's going to be 1-2 days, but we can expect major cities, etc., everything to be stopped. So if you don't have food stored, if you don't have a solar panels for electricity, and even if you don't have a security detail to protect yourself and your assets and so forth, we may become very liable to the circumstances, and so I don't know. I get a little concerned when devotees think that everything's going to be okay. some people have projected that billions of people will die on the planet soon.
Mahatma Prabhu. Sorry, can I just
That's all.
interrupt? Because Nimai Pandit Prabhu already answered your question by saying they don't really think about that and like that. So that means he's not thinking the way you're thinking, and that's his position, which is fine. It's just I'm interrupted because we got 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and maybe Nimai Pandit Prabhu wants to give us some important concluding word.
No,
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
No, what Mahatma Prabhu is saying is it's not like we don't think, but I don't like that is not my main focus. The Prabhu said the farms will be safe. No? Nobody drops, he says, drop bomb on rural areas. So of course the things have become so interconnected, and electricity, finance, so many things, internet, so many things will go away if that happens. And it's not from the realm of possibility. But my point is that, I mean, the food is not so much of a concern on the farm. In the winter, for winter anyway, we store what we grow in the summertime. And so as far as things like security detail and such, we want to have, we should have. And what was the the thing you were saying about
Transportation.
Different devotees would take charge of those different farms, not that every day or something like that I'll go, but I'll have set it up and set the direction, and that's my thinking. So then the devotees, they will take not that I have to keep going everywhere. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. So devotees, if you have anything, we have a website, gopal.farm, www.gopal.farm. You can go and check it out. We have many other activities happening there on the farm side. And otherwise, my email also one can write Nimai at gopal.farm. I'm ready to take this conversation further. Thank you, everyone, giving us the opportunity to share what we could. And in the future, we hope to see you more. Our festival is going to happen in the US here at the farm on the September 22nd to October 1st.
Which
And,
festival, Prabhu? Please tell us the name.
It's a Prabhupada Nuga festival. So Radha Ashmi Day next on the Saturday 23rd. So Varam Prabhu, you have to come, and everybody else, please.
I wish.
I wish and make it happen. All right, Hare Krishna.
Just before we go, I really want to thank Nimai Pandit. Just like Bharat Prabhu, you heard directly from Bharat Prabhu, who was actually on the farm, living with Nimai Pandit Prabhu and seeing the day-to-day sacrifice and the hard work him and his wife and all the team around him go through. And as Mahatma Prabhu said and Nityananda Prabhu said, what a wonderful, super excellent thing we have, because it looks like we're going to have an example of a Varnashraam college that can work, that can accommodate not just devotees. Here we're talking about accommodating just people who are interested in the mode of goodness, taking care of nature, loving nature. And there they're going to get an opportunity to come in contact with devotional elements and hopefully take up and be attracted to devotional service, which is incredible, super wonderful. So on behalf of the whole world and Srila Prabhupada, Nimai Pandit Prabhu and your whole team behind you, really want to say deep thanks, deep appreciation. And I know you're going to be a wonderful example and help to us in the very near future with this service that you're doing.
Oh, this is too many good words, but hopefully we can do more. And I want to learn from others. There is a lot of knowledge available among devotees who have been struggling in different aspects in this Varnashraam and farming and others. And let's continue the dialogue. Huh? We have a lot to learn. I'm very curious. I want to learn. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Nimai Pandit Prabhu ki
Jai Hari Bol.
ISKCON Inc. Ki Jai. Gopal
Jai.
Farm Ki Jai.
Hari Hari
Srila
Jai.
Ki Jai.
Jai.
Hari.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo.
He doesn't have money.